Jessica Stutzman, and welcome back to the Millcreek Government Channel. The Lake Erie Arboretum at Frontier Park, better known as LEAF, has transformed the Frontier Park area into a hub for community activity and family-friendly educational offerings and a variety of outdoor experiences. LEAF's goal is to maintain and improve the Arboretum and to offer programs of interest to the region. Joining our show today to highlight LEAF's amazing educational programs, fun events, and park facilities is Catherine Toes, Program Director for the organization. Catherine, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we had a really exciting talk last year when we spoke, and I think I really got hung up on the baby and me yoga, and I'm already hung up on it now. So I'll make sure we do talk about other things today.
Sounds good.
But what I want to start with, give us a little bit of the history of LEAF and the organization.
So LEAF has officially been around for 21 years now, and so we celebrate our birthday on Arbor Day because that's when we planted the first trees in Frontier Park. Obviously, Frontier Park was there before. It's been there much longer, but it looked a lot different than it does now. And so, LEAF was established as an arboretum, and Dan and Kathy Dahlkemper and all their community partners who worked together to build it up, they planted, now we have over 1,000 trees and over 225 different varieties of trees there.
So it's a great, and again, I use this word all the time, it is not a monoculture, of trees, and it's so important to plant different species so that, again, if we see the emerald ash borer or if we see some disease, again, in the park, it may only wipe out a couple of trees and not the entire forest at the Frontier Park area.
Yeah, and that's some of the work that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, our executive director spent a huge amount of time earlier this year working on removing some of the really aggressively invasive species that were taking over and, choking some of the other plants.
And so I see that Frontier Park is 34 acres, which is amazing because it's right downtown Erie, basically. And what sort of improvements have been made over the 21 years?
So the things that are probably most obvious are things like bridges. We made the pathways more accessible, and we installed things like the amphitheater that can be used as a stage for concerts, and the playground is there. So we work in partnership with the City of Erie. So the City of Erie, for instance, had put the playground in, and then we're trying to focus, different sort of areas of the park without overdeveloping them, because that's something we really do keep in mind, and we get a lot of feedback from the community that uses the park that we want to make sure it's still a serene and beautiful place for people to visit, and that it has enough open spaces for people to use it for all of the athletic activities that they use it for too.
Right, and you mentioned to me before the show that you really like children to just be wild out in nature, not have as much structure.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why, again, your organization keeps it minimalistic in the structures that are provided at the park.
Yeah, because there's all this research that spending just a little bit of time in nature, it makes a huge difference to, how you feel and how your overall health. And so we try to keep that in mind with everything we do, with every program, with very few exceptions. We try to get outside. And even if with our really little ones where they're coming in for a story time, it's wonderful to see that they'll come inside, learn something about nature, and then go outside and play and just, enjoy themselves.
And recently, it's been there for a couple of years, you also have a beautiful building on site now too. How long has that been around?
Oh, that one's, I can't remember exactly how long that's been there, but that's been a wonderful step forward. And it's to the point where we're almost, with the schools visiting and things, we're almost growing out of it, but we don't have plans to expand the building. Mm-hmm. We just kind of try to work with what we have. And it's a wonderful resource because we use it as our classroom space, and we also rent it out for, it's really popular for birthdays and corporate events and things like that.
Absolutely. Like I said, it is a really, really beautiful space. And what is your mission today? Has that evolved over the years?
Our mission is just to raise awareness about the importance of trees, and we do that in two major ways: through outdoor experiences and educational opportunities. So the outdoor experiences are even just, making a beautiful place for someone to come and walk their dog. And then if they're looking for something a bit more, involved, then that's where we will provide different kinds of learning opportunities for all ages.
And I mentioned again, you're the hub of the Frontier Park community, and so I know you get, I'm sure, a lot of neighbors coming in, and then of course you do have parking spaces for people to commute into your park from other areas. It might be hard to track, but do you know how many people attend your programs or attend your events or your concerts?
It's grown really significantly. We figured out recently that between 2016 and 2018, it grew by over 116% our overall attendance. And last year in 2018, we had over 10,000 people attending our activities in the park, which was fabulous.
That's incredible. And like I said, you know that you fill this niche in the community, and everybody again just loves the workshops that you put on or the concerts that we're going to talk about. And so you guys, you keep expanding, but you never lose sight of each individual program. You put a lot of effort into each one. And LEAF is Frontier Park's nonprofit partner. How big is your actual organization, and what does your volunteer base look like?
So we're smaller than I think people sometimes realize. So there's technically 3 part-time staff, and then in the summer we're fortunate enough to have a part-time groundskeeper and also to have additional support staff through the summer jams and a couple of interns as well. But throughout the course of the year, we're so grateful for our volunteers because although I might be leading an educational program, I wouldn't be able to welcome as many students as we do without those volunteers who come and help. And so many of them have taught me so much because they're retired teachers or they're naturalists, and they have all this experience that has just benefited the organization so much.
Is there a certain volunteer that you're looking for, someone with a certain personality or a certain knowledge base that you would welcome to, again, reach out to you and offer their services?
We are just basically looking for anyone who's enthusiastic about interacting with nature and with the public. And so you don't have to have any specific knowledge of the natural world. Everyone has a connection to nature, and I find that just grows as you get more involved.
And how would somebody reach out to your organization to tell them that you're interested?
So they can contact me directly, or they can go on our website, and we have information about volunteering. And we also really keep, we have all our social media, but we keep our Facebook especially really actively updated. So that's a way to, kind of follow along and learn a bit more and see if you're interested.
I do love to follow your Facebook page. That's where I learn about all of the great events that you're doing. Again, not to mention a certain Mommy and Me yoga program, which I said I would lay off this time. Arbor Day, you mentioned, is Leaf's birthday, and it commemorates the first tree planting that was done in Frontier Park 21 years ago. And you've got a lot of great events. We have them scattered here all over the desk, which is fantastic. What do you want to do to raise awareness about the importance of trees this year? What do you have planned?
So we are doing a variety of different things. We tried to make it so that there would be something for everyone. And so the most important thing is probably the simplest thing, and that's on Arbor Day, where Penelec has graciously donated 250 seedlings, and the community is welcome to come and pick one up and take them planted at your school or your home or wherever. And so that's something that is really important, because even if we, maybe don't have enough space to plant as many trees as we would like to, we want to really raise awareness about the huge benefits that just planting one tree in your day-to-day environment can have. So that's our biggest thing on actual Arbor Day. But other than that, we're having some really wonderful workshops. We're doing a sustainability workshop, a gardening workshop where local gardening experts are going to give their top 5 tips for having the best garden in Erie. So that should be good. And then you are very graciously moderating our sustainability workshop, which is of really personal interest to me, because I know it's a common feeling that maybe you care a lot about the planet, you want to do more, but you don't know where to start or what's even possible within our recycling and sustainability systems that exist here in Erie.
Right.
So,
and I think, again, I'm sure we'll talk more about this at the workshop. We don't want to give too much away. I always tell people baby steps, because I'm not perfect either. And, one month or 1 week, you might say, I'm going to stop using disposable straws. And so you might switch to stainless steel or glass or cardboard. But, I think just don't bite off more than you can chew, because it can be overwhelming if you tackle too many big changes in your lifestyle all at once. So I think that's going to be the major takeaway from that particular workshop.
Definitely, because it can be a bit discouraging. I mean, you see those amazing things of people who, get all of their waste for the year into one mason jar, but that's hard, and you don't want to stop before you get, even a bit closer to that. So
right. And I always tell people, again, even if you can't achieve zero waste, coming close to it is still amazing. You're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Don't beat yourself up over, a little mistake or you forget your grocery bag. You'll do better the next time.
Yeah, exactly. And then to extend on from that, we're also having 2 of the wonderful master gardeners who have been longtime volunteers of LEAF, Patty Dix and Maria Blakes. They're doing a family gardening workshop too. We're calling it Grow Together because that was a request from the community. They said, we want to plant gardens, but we don't know exactly what to do. And Maria and Patty are wonderful experts at that. So that's going to be on the Saturday of the week of Arbor Day as well.
And so you really listen again to your members and to the community on what types of workshops and programming you're going to have throughout the year.
We try to. I find that it's more fun if we're doing something that we know people want to have happen rather than stretching ourselves too thin and doing stuff that's just not meaningful. And for instance, with the movies, we've always done movies in the park. People have always loved coming, but then last year we were like, we should ask what movie people want to see. And so that was really great. Last year we showed The Lion King, and this year we're showing E.T. So that'll be really fun.
That's a favorite. It's a long time favorite. It's been around a long time, but everybody loves it. What day is that coming up on?
That is going to be on the weekend of the Blues and Jazz Festival. We really love collaborating with them and making it's so that Frontier Park is just alive that weekend. So it'll be on the Friday night, which is August 2nd. That'll be when the movie is. And then the following morning, if you stay up super late watching a movie, you can come the next day and we're having an outdoor story time in the amphitheater.
I love that. And so for the movie, what should folks expect when they get there? Should we bring our own blankets and chairs and food? What should we expect when we arrive?
People will often bring blankets or chairs, whatever you want to be comfortable there, because it is just in the grass. And then, with the development along 8th Street, that's just really expanded things more too, because you can, pop up to Donato's, get a pizza, go to Popluck, get some popcorn, and then come over to Frontier Park and enjoy a movie.
And does the movie start at dusk, or does it have a specific start time?
Yeah, it starts at dusk, which is approximately 8:30, but you never know for sure.
Okay, tentatively. And so again, we were mentioning a lot of educational opportunities. How do we raise awareness in children? Again, all abilities, all ages. How do you reach out to them? We always have structure to our programs, but we found, we have a labyrinth at LEAF. That's always the example that I like to use, because we have this willow sculpture that Erie Arts and Culture helped us install quite a few years ago. And it's this really sort of windy willow thing that kids call the bear's den, and it's just in front of our labyrinth. And so often when we're on a field trip or a program, they'll walk up from the creek and they're all excited because they've gotten a chance to go and not dip their feet in, but maybe their hands. And so then they'll walk through this bear's den area, and then suddenly they see the labyrinth. And it's really fascinating to see how any child will see the labyrinth and just kind of like put their hands on it or walk around. And it's really, nature has this pretty magical calming effect that I think applies to everyone. It does. And so that's why I want to make sure we touch on your branching out program. It's based on both science and art. Mm-hmm. What does that look like for the summer?
So the science one that's the one where we really, really get the kids outside. And ideally, we have a lot of kids who come and they'll do the science on a Tuesday, and then they'll come back on Wednesday for the art. And that's where we're more in the classroom looking at artists who were inspired by nature and then doing projects inspired by those artists. And again, I think with all our programs, although it's something that's often applied to art, we really focus more on like process over the product. So whether that's going outside and doing a science experiment, even if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you thought it would, or coming back inside and seeing someone's really cool art and then trying to make something like that yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think showing kids that there's these amazing artists who have made art inspired by something as simple as a flower or a rock. We have a field trip where kids do all these experiments on rocks and then they draw rocks. And the first time we did it, I thought, I don't know if kids are going to like drawing rocks, but their paintings are beautiful. It's just of something so simple. So yeah, I find that it's just really inspiring all the time.
I'm sure the parents love getting the artwork home,
I hope so.
Displaying it. And so there's science on Tuesdays and art on Wednesdays, and the age groups, ages 4 to 6, and then the next group are ages 7 to 12.
Yeah, and with all of our programs, those are our guidelines. I know that there's families where they might want siblings to participate together, and we're always open to that. And in fact, the older age group has often gone as old as like 14 or 15. Mm-hmm. So it's all just our suggestion, and it's up to parents' discretion.
Okay. And so what else do you have going on in the summer? Because I see see just a ton of activities here, and I just want to make sure we really get to all of them. So what else are your other summer happenings?
So in the summer, one of the most long-standing things that LEAF has done is our Arts in the Arboretum concert series. So Gannon does Shakespeare Summer Nights as part of that, and then we organize concerts where we have local bands that come and perform in the amphitheater, and it's right next to the playground, so sometimes there's families coming in and out, or there's people with their chairs just enjoying a summer evening. And this year we're partnering with Whole Foods Co-op's Sorcery food truck, so there'll be food, so you can come and have dinner in the park and watch a really wonderful concert. So we're doing some Thursday evenings, as we always have, and then one Sunday performance by one of the Philharmonic quintets.
That's going to be amazing.
It's really nice, yeah. I mean, even last year we got rained out and we had to do it inside, and it was still really nice. So
I can't even imagine. Again, like you said, just surrounded with beautiful scenery and amazing music. That's going to be a fun night.
It's really nice, yeah. I find those are some of the nicest nights of the summer, just having, kids playing or running through, and yeah, it's nice.
Okay, and so we have concerts, we have movies, and then we also have a fundraiser coming up in the fall.
Yes, so we do that. We do one fundraiser a year. We try to focus our efforts, and so we call that our Party in the Park. It's Arboretum, so that's where local restaurants come, and I always say it's kind of like having a wedding in the park, but you don't have to do any of the formal stuff of a wedding. You just come and have fun. There's tents, and you get to wander through. Everything's all lit up, and we have fireworks and great food, desserts, and then we usually have some kind of art show or art installation inside the building at that time. And so it's basically just a party in the park.
Remind me, what day and what time?
That is on Saturday, August 24th. So It's sort of the end of the summer, which is nice too. It's a nice way to end your summer before you get back to the routine.
And where do we need to RSVP for that?
Yeah, that one is for 21 plus, and so you can buy tickets online.
Okay, great. And then again, the very, very last thing you guys do in the season is the annual Leaf Festival. And that's not a fundraiser, so what can we expect from that event?
Yeah, so we try to keep our programs as free or low cost as possible, and the Leaf Festival is an example of something that's entirely free. We do two major festivals. We do our Winterfest and then our Leaf Festival. Winterfest is focused more on recreation, getting outside and doing something even if it's really cold, and then Leaf Festival is more focused on education and fun. So we have things where we've had, arborists come, so there is something for adults that they can talk about tree planting or issues that they're experiencing. But then we also have lots of really hands-on activities for kids. So Asbury Woods is usually there, the zoo comes with some animals, and then we have nature crafts that they can do and a bunch of different exhibitors. I mean, so many of these events wouldn't be possible without our community partners. So that's a really great example of that.
Yeah, and so remind me the day one more time for the Leaf Festival.
That's Saturday, September 7th.
Okay, and there's no RSVP or anything like that?
No, just come in and have fun.
All right. I did see that. I saw that on your Facebook page. I do follow you guys, and I think that's the most important thing. If you want to learn about any activities, of course, always check out their website. It's up to date. But I love following the Facebook pages because you guys either provide a lot of great events or great photos that are beautiful. So I always recommend following social media too. And then do you guys have programs for schools?
So we do field trips for pre-K through grade 8, but technically we also have had some high school groups visit, and then adult groups as well, adult education, and they're all linked to the academic and Common Core standards, and basically they're nature education where they come in, they do a lesson related to a topic, for instance, rocks and minerals, and then they go out into the Arboretum and explore and come back inside and do some art or science experiments related to what they've learned. So those have really grown a lot to the point where we're unfortunately not able to accept as many bookings as we would want to, but they've also grown in a really exciting way because we recently qualified for the Education Improvement Tax Credit, which means that this year through fundraising and corporate donations, we've been able to offer 1,000 students free field trips or enrichment programs, that's always been a goal of LEAF, and we're finally getting to a point where we're achieving that and partnering with the city school district and doing this, just growing that a bit, which is really great.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that, and I'm glad so many kids, again, through these scholarships, one way to put it, I'm glad they're able to experience Frontier Park and get out. And so those programs are during school times, during school hours. Do you have after school programs as well?
That is what we're working on for the autumn, especially with the age groups of branching out, where there may be not those really young children who come to our story times, which we do offer year-round, and our yoga classes are year-round. But then for the slightly older kids, to keep them engaged with nature, we are looking at planning something called Nature After School, which is going to be a new program where we'll have different age groups. That can go as high as high school, and it'll be where they come to Leaf, explore outside, just sort of slow down after school, get outside, and then do some nature journaling activities, and then come back inside and we'll do a yoga class. Because increasingly we're seeing how nature and yoga are very linked naturally, and they are also both something that can really help you to kind of relax and chill out with everything else that's going on.
Yeah, and I do find, my daughter, of course, she is only 17 months old. Of course, she can get fussy at times, and we expect that. And her new favorite thing are ladybugs. And so we've seen some ladybugs out here with the springtime. And if she's getting a little fussy or whatnot, and we go find the ladybugs, she instantly becomes calm. And it's amazing to see what nature does to little kids. It grounds them very quickly.
Yeah. And I mean, it happens for everyone. Like one of my favorite things is watching the dogs that come walking. Like it's like if they've driven there, they hop out of their car and they're just so excited to be there. So something very simple and free, and it really does make a big difference.
Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about our summer programming, a little bit about fall programming. Do you have any more planned for the fall or even the winter?
We always keep things going on during the winter. Adult art classes are one of the things we haven't talked about that have been really popular, because especially in the winter when maybe it's hard to get directly outside, but we have so many windows in the Leaf Education Center that people really love coming there. And we have local artists, Mary Kay Geary and Joyce Perowitz, have been teaching a wide range of art classes in the spring and the autumn. So that's a really nice additional thing for adults, in addition to the kids programming and field trips we do all year.
Now, do you have to have any background experience as an artist? Okay.
No, and actually there's a really nice community that's built up around the art classes. A lot of the people who come have come many, many times now, and then it's almost where they can share some of the skills that they've learned with people who may be completely new to it. But it's a really nice, accessible way to maybe just experience art if you haven't before. And in the autumn, Mary Kay Geary will be teaching really focused things about how to draw birds and flowers, and then also still lifes. So that'll be where you can focus more on a subject matter, and maybe if you've always really loved observing birds, you can learn how to sketch them as well.
That's great. That's fantastic. Of course, we're going to put all of this on the screen. And Leaf receives no federal, state, or municipal funds for your program or your operations. How do you support all of these activities? Again, most of them are either free or a nominal fee.
Yeah, so that's part of why we're such a small organization. And we do, community support is hugely important. Even just things as simple as our memberships make a big difference, or Erie Gives Day, where people will just say, we believe in what you're doing and we want to help support that. We do rent the building. That helps with some of our overhead. And then, that's why for some things, we wish we could do everything for free, but that's why we do have to charge fees for programs and things like that as well. But it's the community coming and supporting, and we try to keep everything as, low budget as we can.
Right. But you do such a great job. So I really want to turn our viewers to just how to contact your organization, whether that's through your website, your phone number, your email address. How can people get in touch with your organization?
So they can reach out even just by a Facebook message or on Instagram. There they can contact us by phone or email. We're always there, and there's just the three of us, so it's easy to get to know us.
I appreciate that. And again, just one last plug. Tell me just a little bit about who's the instructor for the baby yoga.
It's me, so it's not intimidating.
No, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to attend. We are looking forward to it. We've been practicing.
Good.
So hopefully we won't be too challenging of students for you. Okay.
Not at all. No, everyone is welcome. And we say it's like yoga practice, not yoga perfect by any means. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Catherine. I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing all of your wonderful programs with us.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you. Viewers, again, LEAF has so many wonderful activities coming up this summer. You're going to want to join them for their Arboretum in the park and their annual LEAF Festival. Again, there's a lot of information to be seen on their website, on their Facebook page, and they do a lot of great things for the community and for the environment. So I want to thank you for tuning in to the Millcreek Government Channel, and until next time, have a great day.